Con Culture Podcast. Dun, 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 theme song and stuff. All right, guys. So we're trying a new background this week, and the reason I look so pixelated and grainy is because
He looks so little.
Trey nailed it. Trey knocked this out of the park, right? Like killed this killed the overlay, but when it came time to like fit everything into the overlay, not everything I did wanted to work. So Gigi, as you can see, looking gorgeous over there in that bubble, fits perfectly. Nothing wrong with her. Trey down there was supposed to be up here, but is down there, and he looks great. And me, I look like I'm in a sandstorm on a tropical beach. Reason being, I don't know why the NDI for my video feed just doesn't want to work. It just does not feel like working. Everybody can hear me. All our mics are working. You can see me, but we had to do a weird glitch trick for me to even show up on camera. So I'm supposed to be as crystal clear as they are, but I'm not going to be. I've given up all hope of that, and we're already 5 minutes past the live time, but that's explaining why we are here and how we got here. But welcome. Welcome to the podcast. We have what at first was a thin news week, and there's an overall arcing theme of this episode, if I do say so myself. And we'll get to, just to give a brief overlay, there's a lot of celebrities who just don't know how to act right. We got a whole lot of not act right. We have some con news, some con updates, some announcements. We got official word from a con that we heard back from. So we are officially going to a con. We'll be talking about that. And we'll also be discussing a guest announcement that was made for a con here in San Antonio. And what else? We have some other news. Oh, yeah, Thor trailer. Yeah.
Yes.
An epic Thor trailer that dropped. So we have all that to cover today. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining the show. Thank you for tolerating the grainy image of myself. You can at least feast your eyes on Gigi in full HD and Trey down there in 1080p as well.
Well, there's weird stuff going on with my lipstick. It looks like I'm wearing neon orange lipstick. So
you mean you aren't? It does actually. I think the
it
green
really
and
does.
Purple makes your red look orange.
My eye just started watering for no reason.
It's red, but it looks like I'm wearing
falling apart.
Neon coral orange. So never will wear this lipstick ever again. Maybe if I turn the light on, does that just washes me out?
It kind of washes you out. Now I, on the other hand, think the grainy image on mine improves the way I look. I think I look way better this way. 100%. But yes, let's get to the show. We have con news. We got official word back from Fan Expo Dallas. We applied for press passes, and they were gracious enough, or maybe we just snuck in through the line somehow.
They were like, how did they get through?
Yeah, they're probably asking how we snuck in again. But yeah, Gigi, myself, and Trey are all invited back to Fan Expo Dallas, so we will officially be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Looking to see anybody who's headed out to the con, just getting some coverage, getting some interviews, taking as many awesome photos of cosplayers as we can, and just enjoying the full Fan Expo experience.
Yes. I'm so excited. I love Fan Expo Dallas. Was a lot of fun when I went last time. So I'm thrilled to be going back. I always say it was some of the most fun I've had at a con, but genuinely, I really enjoyed it.
I don't think I've ever had a bad Fan Expo Dallas experience. Every time I've gone, it's just
it's a good, clean run of a show.
consistent
like from
too.
top to bottom. Yes, they do however they do the trainings, everything. Like the staff is knowledgeable, everything makes sense.
There was
Yeah.
the biggest complaint, and I wouldn't even call it a complaint. The biggest glitch I've ever seen was there was one year where they seemed to be kind of short staffed, so a lot of people without passes were kind of getting in just through the side door. But yeah, I think it was 2019, but it wasn't too big of a deal. Like nobody was too bothered by it, except for.
I think the biggest complaint I've heard about this con, and it's so minute. I mean, this is what happens when you go to larger conventions. Just when you're outside, like the expo hall, like that hallway there, like by the cafe and everything, can get just so crowded and just have so much traffic getting into the con. And of course, like if you're in a big cosplay, it's kind of a problem. Otherwise,
yeah,
I love that convention. The cosplay's there. That's where we met.
That's
Night
the
Mage.
first time I met Night Mage. Such a nice guy. I adore that guy. I had never heard of him before then. I was admittedly not wise to it. I think it was my buddy Tyler that was like, hey, you need to meet this guy. He's amazing. And when we did meet him, he was genuinely just so nice and sweet. And then he was kind enough to come on the podcast. And he was even nicer like after talking to him and interviewing him.
Right. And then like, I remember whenever y'all asked him, he was like, "Wait, you want me on the show?
So humble.
You want me? Like, why do you want me?" And it was like we almost had to be like, "Yeah, because like you build these cosplays,
amazing.
And you, like learned how to do makeup and all of these things for this craft. Like, yeah, heck yeah, we want you on our show." And he was like, "Well, okay."
He also smashes different gender cosplays. Like he doesn't stick to only doing big masculine male cosplays. He does. He has Chun-Li.
It's an Elvira cosplay.
Oh, his Chun-Li is.
I'm so jealous of his thighs in that Chun-Li one though. He looks damn good as Chun-Li.
He did Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror, which I'm like, oh my god, and just like he slays literally
everything. But yeah, you talk to him.
I just love his perception of it. It was just, this is my art.
We need to tag him.
Art. And it's just like that. Just gave me a whole new perspective.
Whenever we post this, we need to 100% tag this clip of it's like us, us fangirling about Night Mage.
Just the sweetest, nicest person, and definitely deserves all the simps in the world. But yeah, we'll be at Fan Expo Dallas. I know Night Mage is busy going from con to con, and he deserves all the success he gets. But hopefully we get to meet some new cosplay friends, make some new cosplay friends out in Dallas, and just have a great overall experience. So we will be there, even though Sunday is Father's Day, and I'll probably be taking off a little early just to kind of get back and get to enjoy some Father's Day with my sons. Friday and Saturday, I will be all in on the festivities, so we look forward to seeing everyone there and kind of getting in on the fun. Now, moving on to announcements, we do have a major announcement from Big Texas Comic-Con. They've announced a guest, former WWE superstar Kane will be attending the con. So that is, so they have some WWE superstars coming to that con. Oh, excuse me. It looks like a strong show, and I've heard nothing but good things about Big Texas Comic-Con. I personally have never been, but maybe we'll get a shot to go this year. I know we have some friends who were cosplay judges last year, and they had nothing but nice things to say. Everyone I know had good things to say about Big Texas Comic-Con, so hopefully we'll get to take a peek at that. We know San Japan is coming also. There's so many cons kind of just popping back up on the scene. Are there any cons that you two are particularly excited for? Gigi, you go first.
I mean, I'm honestly really excited about going back to Dallas. I had so much fun. Krista, Sierra, and I went last year. Was that last year? Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wait, what are we in? April? Yeah, so that was last year. We went last year, and it was just like, we ended up meeting up with some friends there, and we went as like a big like My Hero group. Like we dressed up like My Hero characters, and it was just so much fun. We like filmed TikToks and like met
It's reading that white camp,
nice.
right?
That's awesome. And what about you, Trey? What con are you looking forward to?
Not to copy off of Gigi, but definitely Dallas. I mean, I haven't been in 2 years. The last time we went is with Night Mage and everything. You know, like I love that con. Met so many cosplayers there throughout the years. Excited to see them again. But I'm definitely excited about more cons. It seems like they're popping up in San Antonio. Nothing beats
you kind of get to go home.
Not having to travel super far.
Yes. No paying parking, things like that. You kind of Uber the
show. The hotel life where you're like, oh God, please don't get red lipstick all over every single towel here.
I hope they have late checkout. Oh.
Get to sleep in my own bed.
Yeah. Feeling like hungover as heck and you're not your own bed is the worst.
Yeah, that definitely is the worst when they have late checkout times and you're just like, oh, could we just push it back, please? Just give me some time. So I'm most excited for the con. I'm most excited for. I don't want to sound like mine's kind of a tie, honestly, because there's 2 cons. I'm gonna exclude my buddy Bobo's superhero card show, even though that's a given.
It's a given.
Mine is a tie on the same weekend that I probably am going to have to make a decision on. Comic Palooza and Corpus Christi Comic Con are on the same weekend, and it's heartbreaking.
They did not plan that. No. That's gonna completely split both of their cons.
What if I would love to do both?
I would love to do both. I honestly would love to go experience Comic Palooza maybe on a Friday and then spend Saturday, Sunday at a Corpus, because I had a blast the last time I went to Corpus. We got a house on the beach. We could like experience that, and the con was a very short drive away. It was awesome. I know Trey's a huge fan of the beach. He knows all the good spots to go while down there. So there's, I think, more to experience in Corpus. But after going to Comic Palooza last year, even with the unfortunate circumstance, I was hooked. It was such a good show.
I just want to go back to Hearsay.
I would go back to Hearsay.
See? And there's things to do in both, so that's why I'm so torn.
And see, like, Comic Palooza was such a good con.
Yeah.
But then I've never been to Corpus. Well, I've been to Corpus, but I've never been to the Comic Con.
Yeah.
And
it's a really good one.
I mean, I've heard you talk about how fun it is, and I'm like, well, that would be kind of nice because it's a smaller con than going to Comic Palooza. So it's like you could really like get in depth with that con.
Yeah.
Like you could.
It's intimate, like and the vendors are super awesome when I've gone to Corpus, and the owner is an amazingly nice guy and is really trying to put together the best possible show. So you know that you're going to get your money's worth going to Corpus. Yeah. But Comic Palooza has that big draw of just putting on an amazing show, being connected to an amazing hotel.
Yeah. I think this is what's going to be the deciding factor for me. Mm-hmm. Guests. That's going to be the deciding factor.
That's why I'm going to Dallas.
But here's the thing. Yeah. No, it's like it's just tough. So have they made guest announcements?
No, that's the thing. Comic Palooza hasn't made guest announcements. Corpus has. They have some Power Rangers. They have some small announcements. But Comic Palooza is just hush on the whole thing. I mean, they still have 3 months, 4 months. Because like people need time.
That's not a lot of time.
That's crazy because usually they've been advertising. Because like I remember the year before last, they were advertising like Emilia Clarke, and then the year before that was like Tom Holland and Sebastian Stan.
Yeah,
it's like big names for sure.
I'm looking at their website right now just to see if they've
snuck one in under us, snuck one in under our nose.
Oh, Chris Waycamp. I knew Chris Waycamp. I'm curious how he's always there. We'll meet him again.
Yeah, I don't think they've announced.
These are the only 3 people. Oh no, they've announced. Hold on.
Who they got?
Lots of
voice actors.
VAs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they always have a lot.
Yeah, Corpus has a good amount of VAs also, and some Power Rangers and.
Yeah, lots of My Hero. Yeah, like lots of My Hero. There's some Attack on Titan.
So we're gonna have some great cosplays.
Oh yeah, I saw an announcement that the voice actor for Mikasa is
Yeah.
gonna be there.
Comic Palooza is amazing. So I don't doubt that they're gonna put on a great show. It is, and that's
tough.
what's killing me so bad.
It's like go to a con I've never been to before, experience that to a city I like, or go to another city that I like with a con that I have been to before with celebrities I've never met.
It's a coin toss. I've been to both and I love them both. It's really hard, and them being on the same weekend and so close. I think it's like 2 weeks after Fan Expo Denver, also another con that I may not be able to go to, unfortunately, because I hopefully will be in Alaska. But yeah, there's so much to be excited for, so many things to get pumped for. There's amazing cons all over Texas. Right after that month, I think we have Colossal Con. It is immediately after Corpus and Comic Palooza, and immediately after that, you have your San Japan. So, yeah, and then Big Texas Comic Con, I think it's in the same month or the very next month after that. New York City Comic Con, I know we're going to try to do that. So, con season is in full swing.
I'm so mad. I was supposed to go to New York City Comic Con in 2020.
We were all we had so many plans for 2020 that just got uprooted.
I had hotel booked. I had plane flights, all this stuff. I had people I was gonna meet up with, and we were gonna do all.
It was gonna be phenomenal.
And then everything shut down.
And then the virus that shall not be named came in and ruined everything for everybody. Speaking of ruining things and just bad behavior in general, I think it's we can get into our main topic of the week now. Celebs behaving badly, y'all. For some reason, celebrities just can't seem to get their shit together. We have so many. I guess we'll start here with the release of the new Harry Potter movie. I don't think I don't want to speak for everybody, but if I'm not mistaken, everyone on this podcast boycotted that movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. So we refused to see it on the grounds of them mistreating and firing Johnny Depp. And the trial is taking place where everyone can see plainly the abuses he had to endure and still be the victim of, losing that job.
And it's so obvious.
Not just that job. He lost Pirates of the Caribbean. Many projects he's been just
if you
pulled
look
out
at
of.
How he's, he's not speaking to get his jobs back. Like, he's not sitting here trying to be like, give me my job back. Like, he's sitting here trying to get justice for the fact that his abuser was being painted as this innocent victim when he's like, no, she's manipulative and abusive and like has, all of you are believing her side of the story and not listening to me. Like, he doesn't give a crud about his acting. I mean, he cares about his acting career, but like, he's not doing this to be like, give me my job back. He's doing this to stand up for what's right, and what's right is her getting the justice she deserves.
Yeah, having the spotlight put on her for sure.
There was a moment that cheered me up, just to follow up on what Gigi said, like, just to show where his intentions were with this whole trial. Like, he says, like, I'm doing this for my children, to show them, like, I'm not this evil doer, I'm like, I'm doing right by them. And like, that just made me tear up. It's like, I can't imagine that, like, your father's like falsely accused of all these things, and then you're put on the spotlight too. It's like, oh, your dad's a weirdo and all that, and then having to deal with all that drama. Like, I can't imagine. And then just to give them a better life. And he said he doesn't care about his career or where he stands. Like, he's doing this to get justice, clear the air.
It's clear when he's on the stand that that's his intent. And seeing what the defense is trying to paint him as, and it just not sticking. Like, he's so charming and so truthful that every time they try to make him look like a piece of shit, he has an answer for it, and it's an honest answer. He's like, no, that wasn't what really happened. This is the explanation.
Yeah. Like when she said he broke her nose, and it was really like she was like, there's bloody tissue, and he was like, it was nail polish. She put nail polish on a tissue.
Yep.
And like his facial expressions are so funny.
When she said that they were old, overweight men who just like get drunk and play music. His smirk when that came across his face when she said that was like, yeah, we are.
The amount of times he's just like, wait, what did I do? What are you saying?
It sounds so outlandish. He almost doesn't believe. I love when they again.
Yeah.
I love when he's like explaining a conversation and wanting to testify. We listen and watch depositions all day, which is very similar to a trial, where the attorneys are questioning the deponent who's ever on the bench, and they can make objections to the testimony. And it's hilarious where there's literally this part where Johnny was like just cueing the attorney, like, it's your turn to object now. I said something that's objectable.
Yes.
And like it was just cracking me up. And to the attorney's point, like when you have a conversation that's not fact, it's all, quote, hearsay. Unless you have text messages or a recorded phone call, it's all hearsay. So to the attorney's defense, he was just doing his job. But I was just cracking up watching Johnny be like, hey, you forgot to say.
And like Krista said here in the comments, she loves how savage he's being to her attorney. Like after asking the same question 4 times. And I know there was a time where the attorney was like, is this your signature? And he was like, yes, that's my signature. Well, is this your signature? Yes, that's my signature. Another document later on was like, is this your signature? And Johnny goes, is that the same signature from earlier? Yeah, it's a similar signature. Then it's my signature. Like, I've answered your question. You've made your point quite well. I don't know. I'd take some beatings from her. My brother says I would too. Sorry. I'm still on record. I was on record saying it before. I'm still on record saying it now. I would let Amber Heard abuse me.
But just because you would let it happen doesn't mean that it's okay 100%. That he is it is okay that he is standing up for himself 1000%. And for his children.
Yes,
just because it is something that you would be okay with doesn't necessarily mean that it is morally correct.
Just because I have a character defect and am damaged does not mean Johnny Depp is in the wrong here.
Just because you are into
exactly
BDSM doesn't mean everybody has to be into it.
She's once he gets to slicing off fingers, I'm sorry, the kink ends there. That was so bad. But
my favorite moment though is, I forget what the question, how it went down, but they asked him if he was still taking opioids, and the pureness of his just smile and just being able to definitively positively just say, no, I'm clean, was just so wholesome.
Seeing his growth and improvement.
So it's like, it just makes me wish, it's like ride this wave of positivity.
Yeah, because they keep trying to bring old shit back up. Well, you did this in the past, this in the past. He's like, I'm not my past. I don't know what you want me to say. That was shit I did when I was younger and I was damaged. I'm not that man anymore. Yeah. But they want to paint him as a bad guy. So it's only so much you can do.
They're going to have a pretty hard time with all of that, especially with,
the amount of evidence
Amber
he
Heard
has.
sitting up there trying to like squeeze a tear out of her eye, but she's like, "Is it working?"
It's like, don't hurt yourself.
She's awful,
you're an okay actress.
But it's crazy how this has happened to Johnny. He's out of Pirates of the Caribbean. He's out of Secrets of Dumbledore now. But Ezra Miller's still in there. But then they finally pull him after three
arrests later. And video evidence.
He really is such a shit stain of a human. He needs to spend time in jail because he is a little rich celebrity boy who has absolutely no taste of the real world. And I'm not saying put him in a cushy.
Not no Martha Stewart jail.
Put him in. Yeah, no. Not where he's going to befriend Snoop Dogg. Like, he needs to be in with, like, people who are going to be like, oh, like, you thought it was cool to, hit a woman? Okay. come here.
There are consequences.
I'll throw a chair at you.
I'll do. Like, he needs to have his ass whooped.
100%.
That's 100%. All. I'm gonna leave it there.
It's like, you're absolutely right. He's not living in reality. He thinks he's above the law. He thinks, I can just keep doing this because
he's already done it. He's already done it
away with it
multiple times, and then had no consequences. None. And it's like, oh, okay, finally you're gonna give him a consequence. Finally, okay.
Yeah.
A little late, after you've shot all the movies.
Seriously.
And
it's like, oh, but he's still gonna make money. He's still gonna make money off of the releases and stuff.
Yep, 100%. Probably will be at the red carpet too. He'll be at the red carpet event.
God, I hope not.
Who the fuck is vetting Warner Brothers actors?
I said this last
episode. That's 2 Warner Brothers people we've just listed that are pieces of shit. So, Warner Brothers, step it up.
Yeah, no, white privilege, 100%. Art, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're definitely benefiting from their privilege. But it's not just white actors, bro. It's Will Smith. We just got news that he is no longer. Netflix has canceled production of Bright 2. We've had news of Bright 2 since last year that they were starting production. They were writing the sequel. It was a pretty big hit for Netflix. Great movie. I was a huge fan. I think, Trey, you've cosplayed the orc from that.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so people were looking forward to a part 2. Netflix has since scrapped those plans because of the actions that Will Smith took at the Oscars that were just wrong. They were wrong. I empathize with why he may have done it, but it was not rational. It was wrong. Even Will has said it was wrong. He hasn't tried to defend his actions in any way. 100% wrong. That's more Netflix losing money, not because of what he did. Hey, that's a good fucking point, bro. Netflix is losing a lot of money. They lost 200,000 subscribers last month. They are cutting off password sharing. So if any of y'all watching are sharing passwords with your peeps, if you aren't on the same IP address, you may not be able to do that anymore. You're going to get cut off. And there's now talk of there being a lower cost ad supported tier of Netflix also.
It's just so dumb. Like, we already pay for the service. Don't put a freaking ad in my show. Oh, now you want me to pay more? I'm going to finish She-Ra and then I'm going to dip out of there. There's nothing else that they're putting out there that is worth my time. I got like 7 more episodes of She-Ra and I'm done. I
got
out.
The Witcher 2, Stranger Things. They have me by the balls. I'm going to be there a while. Umbrella Academy. I'm going to be there a while. They have me, Vikings, The Last Kingdom. Like, I have tons of Netflix shows.
But like, when are they gonna release all that? Are we gonna be grandfathered in? Like, if I leave and then come back, are they gonna be like, "Oh, here's $40. You got to pay $40."
You're on our new ad-supported $40 plan. No going back. Don't ever leave us again.
$55 if you want less ads.
Yeah,
but then you have to pay to see our branded content. Like, and yeah, like, actually, like, that is a really fair point that Art made, that it was just an easy way for them to be like, to save money because they're just hemorrhaging right now. Because I was going to be like, hey, good on Netflix for like standing up and giving somebody consequences, harsh consequences, rightfully so consequences for, actions, negative actions. But then also, it does kind of feel like they're just funny. Like, oh, well, we can just not spend that money now. Whereas like Warner Brothers, is sitting here.
They're planning the red carpet event for The Flash still.
Seriously.
Oh yeah.
Seriously.
We'll do a hologram Ezra down on the red carpet. It will work.
And photo boost with him. God, he's so terrible. I'm so angry.
It's just bad.
And
news.
It's like Will Smith slapped another man. Mm-hmm. Is that okay? No. Absolutely not okay. Ezra Miller has slapped multiple women, and he's still
choked a fan.
Well, not anymore.
He choked a fan. What the?
Yeah, choked. Worse than
choked a fan, threw a chair, gash on the head.
And the fact that he still had a job. Oh, it's just making like, and then coupled with, all this stuff with Johnny Depp and Grindelwald and all, it's just making it so easy to just step away from all of that. Like, it's just a hot mess. And
I know there's people that love the fandom, but after the author came out with her super transphobic comments, and then they did that to Johnny, I was like, yeah, there's no reason for me to be supporting this.
No.
I don't need to put more money in her pocket. I don't need Warner Brothers to be rewarded. I might not watch Aquaman. I love Jason Momoa,
absolutely
but I might not watch Aquaman.
I'll watch the deepfake version.
Let's just remake it. We'll just remake it.
100%.
I'll be what's her face.
You can totally be Mira. You'd be better than Amber Heard, 1,000%. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't know about that. I mean,
did you see her try to cry in court?
She looked like, I don't know, did y'all ever watch Love is Blind or see any of the Love is Blind memes that were floating around the internet? I saw some of the memes,
yeah.
The girl that's like, hold on. Rick, what's her name? Y'all keep talking.
Yeah, I might not watch Aquaman as a result, man. Warner Brothers has shit the bed. Discovery has purchased them and is apparently like cleaning up shop and gonna try to relaunch and restart everything. It sounds like Discovery's going to get the house in order. I love the Batman. I honestly think it's one of the best things DC has ever released or created. Great film, but one good does not outweigh the mountain of bad that they put out and produced and put up with. Yeah, with the way they treated Ray Fisher, with the way they kept on Ezra Miller, they kept on Amber Heard, they fired Johnny Depp.
This is what she looked like in court.
Fired Ben Affleck.
Trying to cry. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes.
Her name is Shayna, and she's awful. God. She's awful. She literally just is like,
that's everything. Almost as bad as Kyle Rittenhouse's. Whatever the fuck that was. Oh my god. I'm done.
So, sorry, I derailed us.
No, you did not. That was 1,000% what you look like in the footage. So,
what's hilarious, and I think Chris even commented this in the chat or something, but it's hilarious. Like, you'll see her like shooting the shit with someone on the side, and then once they go on the record, it's like, oh,
yes,
100%.
And she's making this face every time. Every time, that's her face.
That's all I want to see her do. She'll just mess up one day and be like, insane.
You're not a good actress. You're not even that great of an actress.
And then she'll be like, Phil, are we still on the record?
Yeah, we're still on the record, lady.
Are we still on?
Yeah.
Are we rolling?
So crazy. Speaking of rapping, Christina Richie, I believe, has wrapped her shooting and production for Addams Family, the series, on Netflix. Yeah. Don't know when Avatar's coming. We're still waiting on the Last Airbender series live action. So Netflix has some in the pipe, but I just don't think they can compete with the big dogs. Now that Disney is picking up steam and releasing things the caliber of Mando and Moon Knight. HBO Max is pumping out all kinds of great content documentaries.
Our Flag Means Death.
Yeah, they have comedy series, drama series, action series, shit, even Peacock and Paramount with Yellowstone. Even the little ones are getting in. Yeah, Halo. But Amazon is really bringing the thunder later this year with the Lord of the Rings series. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, their budget for a single show on Amazon is like 5 Netflix movies. So they got to do what they can to kind of bring in revenue. I get it, but I think it's a losing battle. Yeah, one of them needs to buy it. Disney or Amazon or Apple even. Apple TV has a ton of great... See? With Jason Momoa...
Defending Jacob. I mean, that was a few years ago, but Defending Jacob was so good.
The one with Justin Timberlake that was on Apple TV as well. It was Justin Timberlake and I think it was a little trans boy or a homosexual boy that was in a rural town, and Justin Timberlake basically befriends him, and they're kind of like both town misfits. one for being flamboyant and him for being a former ex-con.
I don't.
If you haven't seen it, I 1000% recommend it. Ah, shit, I can't remember the
what
name
was it
is
on?
escaping.
It was
Palmer. Palmer was the name. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Palmer is on Apple TV. If you have not seen Palmer, watch that movie.
It's a film. For some reason, I was thinking of a TV show.
Yeah, no, it's a film.
And I was like, I didn't realize he was in like a TV show.
No,
oh, okay.
It's phenomenal.
I mean, I wouldn't have been able to pull that.
Yeah,
also heard
Palmer
the morning
is
show.
phenomenal. I cried like a baby. It is so good, so good, and Justin Timberlake does an amazing job. And it really points out the issues facing the current time as far as trans struggles and the LGBTQ plus struggles going on. Just an overall great movie. Highly recommend it. Are there any movies you guys want to recommend before we kind of wrap up the show? Is there anything y'all are watching, y'all are into that you would like people to know about? We'll start with Gigi and then work our way through.
Well, I just finished a few days ago, Our Flag Means Death, and I have recommended a bunch of people. I recommended that show to a bunch of people today because it's like there's only one season so far. It's like 8 or 9 episodes, and it's very, very digestible. Like it is the right amount of like drama, action, comedy, and it has everything, a little bit of everything.
What network is it on?
Good. HBO Max.
Nice. HBO Max.
And what I like about it is like they did a really good job of casting like a very wide range of people. Mm-hmm. Like, and the thing is, they're not bound to like, you know, in like a Western film or like a period piece that's set in, you know, England. Yeah. They're not bound to a certain type of person. The show is about pirates. So it's like all walks of life, you know, your race, your accent, it doesn't matter, your gender, none of it matters. They're all playing pirates. Pirates are, you know, they travel. Yeah. They're from all over. So it's like, it's really, the casting is spectacular. The costuming is spectacular. They all look so grimy all the time.
Just as a pirate should look.
I'm like, let me on the ship. Let me on the ship. I will do your laundry. Gladly do your laundry. So yeah, I finished that. I think on Monday I finished it.
Nice.
I watched all of the episodes in like 2 days, which is like, I don't really binge watch shows. I don't have the opportunity to binge watch shows. I don't have the mental capacity to binge watch shows.
Same.
But I binged the crap out of that show.
Nice.
And She-Ra. I also binged the fudge out of She-Ra. I'm almost done with it.
The fudge out of She-Ra. Like a true pirate watching your mouth. And my brother recommended The Green Knight in the comments. Trey, what about you? What do you have recommendation-wise for people to see?
Again, not to copy off of Gigi, but Our Flag Means Death. That's one of my favorite shows I've seen on HBO lately. Like, it literally had me in tears. I was laughing so hard at some points. And it's, I always mispronounce his name, and I feel like such a terrible fan. Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi. Sorry. He's phenomenal in everything he does, and he totally runs with this role in this show, and it's hysterical. And he just has such a good range with this character as well. And that catches you off guard, like you're laughing, and then like, oh, I'm getting some feels. What the hell?
Has you like shouting and like literally like you're rooting for these.
I loved it.
These pirates.
And it's just so absurd. The premise is it's literally like a gentleman decides, I want to leave my life of luxury and everything. I want to become a pirate. Yeah, a randy. and it's hysterical.
It's it's like historically loosely accurate.
Yeah, there was a gentleman pirate.
We go on to what I would recommend. I'm gonna shoehorn in the Taika Waititi thing. We forgot actually to talk about the Thor trailer, which it looks like Taika of course is directing it, but Korg is going to be, I think, a partner in this film.
Oh yeah,
with Chris Hemsworth, so we're gonna get more Taika Waititi there. Before we wrap up again, I would like to get your thoughts on the trailer. Gigi, what did you think of it?
First of all, I love Sweet Child of Mine. Always loved that song. So anything that has Sweet Child of Mine in it is just spectacular already. But I think the teaser was exactly what it needed to be. It gets people talking. It gets people excited. It gets people wanting more.
Yep.
Like, I want to see more, which is, I mean, that's exactly what it's supposed to do.
100%.
I mean, Jane, oh God, like, yes. Like, the fact that Natalie Portman put on 40 pounds of muscle for that role is just
astonishing.
Like, and I love that they're going to have a muscular woman and more than likely keep her feminine, because you don't see that very often. You always see like the strong woman as depicted as more masculine. Yep. Which is fine because people like that do exist, but there are also muscular, more feminine presenting women, and I'm just excited to see that. I'm excited that there's going to be children growing up and seeing that and normalizing it.
100%. What about you, Trey? What were your thoughts on the Thor trailer?
I was blown away, and I'm just beyond excited to see it. I mean, one of my favorite shots in it, and they've been doing this a lot in a lot of the Marvel shows. You see like this transition of this character with the arc. Like you see him as a boy running through the woods, and then you see him like in the classic Thor comic book costume. Like I guess he's like a teenager running there, and then you get to see him full grown. And then obviously this is just envy because I should be doing what he's doing when he's having his badass training session doing the death rows with the chains.
Well, he wrote Strongest Avenger. You could tell he wrote it with a marker. Strongest Avenger.
Yes.
No.
He's not
when him and Star-Lord, like with Star-Lord, it's like, you just got to look in the eyes of the people you love, and he's like,
that's magic. It's magic. It's so good.
If there's more moments like that, I'm going to be in tears, like laughing so hard because like it just reminds me of that moment, like him in Endgame.
Yeah,
it's
like, Taika Waititi, and we're going to get those moments, I'm sure. And
he's so good. He's so good.
I love the Thor trailer. Yeah, I loved it for the panel that they took straight up from the comics, where you see the giant dead god. They took that straight from the comic. Added Korg in there, but that is literally a panel from the comic I read. I think it's issue number 2, where Thor first discovers that somebody is killing gods. And it gets so much better and darker from there. We don't get any gore in this trailer, but we do get a Zeus, which means we are going to get the Olympians. Yeah, Russell Crowe as Zeus. We got his arm. That's all. Hopefully I'm hoping Hercules. If we get Hercules, I'm off to the races. I'm on board. I couldn't be happier. This movie is going to give me everything I want. Honestly, we got Valkyrie in a badass suit.
Yes,
so
I
cool.
love. Yes. Oh.
Yeah, Tessa Thompson. Tessa Thompson
just
does it for me.
So annoyed.
Yes.
Everybody.
So I'm excited to see where this movie goes and how they adapt that amazing story. I'm a huge fan of this comic series and the Gore the God Butcher confrontations, and it's really dark. So I'm going to see how Taika infuses humor into this very, very dark story. And I know there's going to be some deep moments because Jane Foster's Thor is dying of cancer. And it looks like they're going to stick with that story. Every time she becomes Thor, she gets closer to death because she's wiping out the chemo from her body, giving the cancer an opportunity to ravage it. So there's going to be some serious tones in there, but Taika Waititi is a master at that with Jojo Rabbit. As y'all said, the pirate shows. I was about to say, knowing how he saw, that movie was a perfect mix of comedy and dark subject matter, and just, I have almost no doubt he's going to knock it out of the park. 100%. And that'll bring me to my wrapping statement, my recommendation. Also, Taika Waititi, we're just all over that man. Reservation Dogs, if you haven't seen it on Hulu, it is a full native cast, indigenous writers. It is so good. Reservation Dogs. It's about these 4 teenage kids living on a reservation, and it is some of the funniest television you will ever see. It tackles Native American tropes. It tackles the authenticity of their culture and life on the res. It's cool to see that hoods everywhere are kind of similar, whether on the res or in the inner city. There are similarities with poverty and struggle, and it's too funny. You have to go see Reservation Dogs on Hulu. If you haven't, do yourself a favor. Taika Waititi's an executive producer. His hands are all over this. You can see the humor in it, and you'd get to see amazing indigenous actors do their thing. They steal the show 100%. I can't wait to see these young actors and actresses in other roles, because they definitely need more time to shine. Yeah, 100%. Oh man, that spirit guide stole the show for me. He was at the Battle of the Little Bighorn. I won't spoil it. You have to see it. But that's it for the show, folks. That's our podcast this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for giving your 2 cents. Props to Rory for making me aware of God Gore the God Butcher story in the comics. Yes, props to Rory. Art says.
Props to Rory.
Yes, it was an amazing series.
He's off playing video games.
Is he?
He has no idea why I said props to Rory.
He doesn't need to know. He just needs to know there's props given. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. We're going to call it here. Thank you for joining the show. We'll see you next week, guys. See ya.